Joining us now, it's about 27 minutes before the hour. Joining us now um, over the phone, there's a demonstration that is continuing today. We were to have been joined by Karine Jean-Pierre as well. MoveOn had vigils last night. Karine may join us before the segment is over. But on the line with us now is Bob Bland, co-president of the Women's March. They are having a vigil at the Prettyman Courthouse today in Washington, 333 Constitution Avenue. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mark. How are you doing?
Just fine, just fine. Pleasure to have you. Tell us about what's going on today.
Well, Mark, what's going on today is the beginning of the culmination of a month. Exactly 30 days starting today was the first day that we risked arrest in the Kavanaugh hearings. And throughout the month, there have been thousands of people from across the country who have came into the city and put their bodies on the line, spoken their truth to power. And we've seen these allegations come forward during this time. We already knew that Brett Kavanaugh was not good for the American people,
Right.
that he would judge all of us in a way that would limit our rights, not expand them. But to hear the allegations that have happened and then actually to go through the dramatic hearings that we saw last week, to see this sham FBI investigation that just wrapped up last night with so little accomplished in that investigation, and to now see that uh, Leader McConnell will push through this vote regardless of what evidence is, whether the people's voices are heard or not. Women cannot be silent. So we're gathering women, survivors, allies today again for the 30th day in a row here in Washington, D.C. today, and we will be having our largest mass mobilization yet. And it begins today at 12:30 p.m. at 333 Constitution Avenue Northwest, which is the current district courthouse that Judge Brett Kavanaugh has been working out of for the last few years. And from there, we are going to march. My fellow co-chairs from the Women's March, Linda Sarsour, Tamika D. Mallory, and then leaders from CPD Action, who have been our partners steadfast through all of this, including Ana Maria Chila, who captured the nation last week in her confrontation with Senator Jeff Flake. Just to have him hear her story, to look her in the eyes, to look a first-time activist, Maria Gallagher, in the eyes, and just hear that this is hurting survivors of sexual assault and harassment. Excuse me for the ambulance, but we are all going to be here today, along with thousands, to say that we will not go back. Women will not be silent, and that they are our representatives and they need to hear our voice. And that we have clearly, unequivocally said across America, find another candidate. You had 26 others on your list. We don't need an abuser on the Supreme Court.
The young woman who confronted Jeff Flake, you said she'll be there too. What's her name again?
Yes. Ana Maria Achila of
Mm-hmm.
CPD, Center for Popular Democracy. She was one of the two women. There was another very young woman named Maria Gallagher
Right.
who, coming to protest with us at these canceled Kavanaugh protests and coming to speak directly to our senators and look them in the eye. It was her very first time doing that. And she was able to capture the nation and the narrative with her plea. And we needed this. We needed this moment of clarity. We needed people to literally put their foot in the door, in
Yeah.
the elevator door,
Yeah.
and stop that moment. And it changed Senator Flake's decision
It did.
at that time. But what does it matter if the FBI investigation itself is rushed, is done improperly, and turns out to be a scam?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it did. I agree. I think it did change um, what happened, and I think it had a profound impact on him. I'd like to think what you all are doing today will have the same impact.
It must. It must, because these are our representatives. And that's the other thing that we all need to remember about today. Everyone, whether you're here with us or not,
Hmm.
that they work for us. And if we are not going to be their bosses, if our taxpayer dollars are going to them telling us in a very similar way, this has been very re-traumatizing for those of us who are sexual assault survivors, because what the GOP is telling us in this moment is like, look, I'm going to get what I want, the way I want it, when I want it, and there's nothing you can say or do that's going to stop me.
Yeah.
And that's very similar to what so many of us have experienced when we have been assaulted or abused, is that same attitude. And it is just unconscionable for them to move forward with this when there are so many other candidates that they could put up that have not been stained and tinged by these horrible allegations, and the credible testimony of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, the sworn testimony of Julie Swetnick, Deborah Ramirez's account. And it's just shown that systemic sexual violence is it's a part of every single system we have. And the GOP seems to be embracing that unapologetically.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, clearly they are. That's absolutely the case, folks. 866 99 Serious, 866 997 4748. As we talk with Bob Bland of the Women's March. Women are saying, of course, cancel Kavanaugh. Today they will be marching, ladies and gentlemen, and as they march, everyone in the Washington area is invited to join them today. That'll be at 12:30, 333 Constitution Avenue. I presume you all will be risking arrest again too, right, Bob?
We are willing to do whatever it takes to win this fight. And in the time honored tradition of nonviolent civil disobedience, many of us have been arrested more times than we can count during this fight,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes dozens of times, because we have been here every single day for a month, and sometimes multiple times in a day, whatever it takes to get the attention of these senators and to make sure that they are really hearing from us and with us. It's not just about us. We're bringing our communities with us. We're bringing survivors' stories with us. There have been hundreds of women who have told their stories during this, and it's been an incredibly painful experience to see survivors having to bear all of their pain, all of their trauma over and over and over again, just to get our elected representatives to do their jobs. And so today we will be marching from the district courthouse to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And we are going to be rallying there. We are going to tell stories. We are going to have speeches. We are going to sing songs. And then, yes, afterwards, we are going to take direct action.
You obviously we all know Bob Bland with us of the womensmarch.com. Obviously, um, we know the four people key to this vote. Who can stop it? Jeff Flake,
Yes,
Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Joe Manchin.
that's right.
I honestly don't see, Bob, how any of them can be comfortable, or put another way, I don't see how they can use this FBI investigation at all as cover,
I,
because the
if they do
investigation didn't even
so,
interview Dr. Ford.
yeah, it would be completely disingenuous for them to use this FBI investigation as cover
Right.
for their vote. We have heard that Manchin in particular is prepared to do that, so we need to change his
Jesus.
mind. So if anyone's in West Virginia, and honestly, everyone on the phone, everyone on the show, your phone calls are as important as what we're doing here. Senator Murkowski just told us yesterday in a meeting that her office has literally never received this many phone calls, and it's unprecedented. Even in the Affordable Care Act fight last year, she didn't receive this much energy.
Wow.
And it shouldn't take that, but that's what we need in this moment. So please keep on calling and keep on reminding them that November is coming.
Right.
The midterms are coming, and that we will not forget. And we will show them how we feel about this with our vote.
Is there going to be a women's wave in November, Bob?
Oh, I think you are already seeing a wave of women with over 100 women winning their primaries for congressional office. It's an unprecedented amount of women. So we will undoubtedly see more women in Congress this year than we ever have before. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning, because every time that a woman sees someone like them running for office, then they have the opportunity to say, hey, wait a minute,
Right.
I could do that too.
Right.
And so this is
right.
just the beginning.
Well, and I want to say this too, if I could. All of the women who are listening right now, this is 12:30, so this is lunchtime. Folk who are at
That's
work, women in particular, and men, we all need to support women. I'm not in Washington today, unfortunately. I'm there in spirit, but we need to be at this courthouse with Bob Land, the Women's March, and all the other women from around the country today at 12:30. You need to drop what you're doing. Women's lives and women's bodies are on the line. And if you have an alleged rapist on the court, appointed by an alleged rapist, then the court will have absolutely no credibility. This is a boys' club. This is a rapist club. They cover each other. They slap each other on the back and wink and nod at each other and defend each other's behavior. You heard Trump say that this is, it's a shame how men are being wrongfully accused. Well, he didn't feel that way about the Central Park Five at all. Because they were black men, he wanted them executed and lynched the way black men were for a whole century with false allegations of rape. But when it comes to these privileged white males, they want to do it. They want to do it, and they want to get away with it. And all of this concern about their innocence and their shame and them being guilted is really them saying, they won't put it in these words, but it's them saying they will not respect women who speak up in their own voices and call them out. So this is truly, when Jeff Flake says that America is being torn asunder, it's being torn asunder as much with regards to gender as it is to race, because they're threatened by you all, Bob. They're threatened by women finally getting their own voices.
And this is so much bigger than one Supreme Court pick. The fact that this is the hill that the GOP is willing to die on speaks volumes to what their priorities are. And it's not women. It never will be women. It'll never be survivors, because women aren't the only survivors out there of sexual assault. But it's all very clear now that this is the fight of our lives, and this is the one fight where we can really take off the mask of all of these people and say, look, if you vote yes on Kavanaugh, you are a rape apologist. You are complicit. You are aiding and abetting the sexual assault of people over America.
That's right.
And you're not fit to lead us.
You're right. No, you're absolutely a rape apologist. And so, folks, we need to stand up today more than any other. They need to see. Mitch McConnell says he doesn't care how many people demonstrate. We're going to show him, though. We're going to call his bluff on that. People need to see us out there in droves today. 333 Constitution Avenue, 1230. Some of y'all work in that area, right in that space. Some of y'all can even see. I know folk down there, I used to live there, Bob. I organized the demonstrations at that courthouse when Marion Barry was on trial, at that very courthouse. So I know folk in that neighborhood. I'm calling y'all out today. Don't meet Bob there. Beat her there for lunchtime at 12:30, so the whole nation can feel the power of the people, can feel the power of these women, and the mainstream media always trying to appear not to be liberal, not that it is. Bob is saying that, there's more enthusiasm than ever before for the GOP this fall. But they won't report how much enthusiasm there is for our side, Bob.
That's
And there's a
right.
great deal
I
of
saw it.
enthusiasm. I think it's even more
Yeah.
enthusiasm. The women
I
are
want
with
you to
us.
know, yeah, I have seen it before. The way that the media has been covering this as if there are as many women for Kavanaugh or people for Kavanaugh. I want you to know that I've been on the ground every day, and for every one of them, there's typically 25 to 50 of us.
Yeah.
And it's not balanced at all. The energy is absolutely with us. And I also want to mention that it should be nonpartisan to protect women. It
Right.
should be nonpartisan to say no to sexual violence, domestic violence, abuse,
Right.
and assault.
Right.
This is not a partisan issue, or it shouldn't be. And if it is, then that just shows you that one party's got to go.
Now, of course, we're focusing on today's demonstration. Bob Bland, womensmarch.com. She's the co-president, organized that historic march last January. We're going to do it again, like the movie and the song says. Let's do it again. Doom, 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 ba-doom, doom. Let's do it again. We're going to do it again, y'all, on January 19th again, 2019. Right, Bob?
Clearly, marching one time wasn't enough. So what we've seen this year, what we've seen in the last 2 years, shows us that we have no choice but to march. So we're bringing the women's wave back to Washington and across the nation on January 19th, 2019. And this time we're coming with an agenda. So we are bringing movement leaders and activists and grassroots organizers from across the nation together to create the women's agenda. So in the same way that we said we needed to convert those feet on the street to power at the polls, which is what you're going to see this November, we need to convert the ideals that we put forth in the Women's March Unity Principles, which you can check out on our website at womensmarch.com. We need to convert those into policy, and we need those policies now.
Yeah, yeah. Folks, this is a sustained women's movement, ladies and gentlemen. It is sustained, and it will continue. Beginning today, 12:30 p.m. at the Prettyman Courthouse, 333 Constitution Avenue. Continuing November 6th, we're going to march to the polls. On
That's right.
November
Bring 10 of your
6th,
friends.
women marching to the polls November 6th. And then continuing.
And men and everyone. Let's make it the movement vote.
And then January 19th, let's do it again. That's the song. That's the Staple Singers. Let's do it again. Bob knows that song.
Let's do it again.
I know that's right. Marching again in Washington, D.C. So, folks, get on board. Go to womensmarch.com. Please, ma'am, please, sir, and be aware of what is happening. Bob, love you. How's the family?
Oh, they'll be better once we make sure this guy's gone. But, my family is what keeps me going every day, and I'm so blessed.
Yeah. Bob, love you. I'll be with you today in spirit, okay? And y'all be careful out there.
Thank you, Mark.
They're putting their bodies on the line. That's what Coretta Scott King would be doing today, folks.
We're going to do it.
That's what
Women
Angela
are the
Davis
leaders
would be
we've been
doing
waiting
today.
for.
That's what Sojourner
That's right.
Truth would be doing. That's what Harriet Tubman would be doing today. That's what Jane Fonda, she might even be out there today. All of these, Gloria Steinem, they all paved the way. All right?
Right.
So Tamika will be out there, Linda, all of them. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Mike.
Good luck today with everything. All right, take care now. 866-99 series. Bring it up. That's Lou. Y'all remember this song? Put it back. Eight 4748. Let me see now. This is what I need to do. Because we didn't have Karine with us, but we have her words. Karine actually spoke on last night at a demonstration in Washington D.C. in front of the Supreme Court, and let's see if we can hear her words a little bit here. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre.
We have to continue to call. We have to continue to come out and protest. There are, 200 vigils across the country. And we can't stop. We won't stop.
That's Karine Jean-Pierre, y'all. 866-99-SIRIUS. 866-997-4748. Let me get a couple of calls in before we have to get away. We got 1 minute. Do I have time to get a call? I may not have time. Let's get a woman in. Carol's in South Carolina. Carol, real quick for me. You'll end the show for us today. God bless you. Good morning. Get woke and vote. Withdraw. Kavanaugh. Get ready for impeachment. Go right ahead, Carol.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just like to say I love the outrage of your callers. Bravo and hats off to Bobby. But I will say this. Let me ask you this question. How did Obama, one of the greatest presidents in history, get elected? How did he get elected? People didn't think he would.
Okay. Carol, did we lose you? Carol? I think we lost her. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Carol. I'm sorry, Carol. We lost you somehow. Okay. Well, anyway, our time's up, y'all. Folks, be out there today. Cancel Kavanaugh demonstration, 12:30 at the courthouse, 333 Constitution Avenue. Don't meet him there, beat him there. Cancel Kavanaugh. If all minds are clear, it has been made plain.
And gave us everything, Lord gave us everything.